So, I I just wanted to rant about something that has kind of been bothering me for a moment about just social media and things in general with the various industries and things of that nature. But um, in recent years, especially growing up for me, I've noticed how no matter what comes out, whether it's a movie, game, what have you know, there's so many people that immediately start hating it or criticizing it, and I, I'm mainly writing about this because, like I said, I've kind of noticed it in recent years, and Charlie, Moist Critical, Penguin Zero, any of the other names he has, he made a video on the other night, and it kind of made me realize how bad it's gotten with everything. And he brought up a bunch of good points that I didn't even think about until I started stewing with the information in my noggin, stuff like that. But like with the things I've noticed is like, of course, the gaming industry, which he kind of talks about, like in recent times with Beast of Reincarnation, I believe, and um, he talks about how people kind of hated on Expedition 33 and things like that. And I kind of want to talk about my experience with it, because like there's things that I obviously don't like, and things that I do. And like some of the things, like for example, The Last of Us TV show, I'm not a big fan of it. I've tried watching it here and there. It just, for me, the details, the story, not so much actors. In some cases, it is the actors, but overall, even if it's the same actors that are in it right now, if the story was better, I'd probably be a bit happier with it, truthfully. And like that's fine not to like something. You're allowed to, but nowadays you're expected to hate everything that comes out, and liking things is kind of, you're outcasted for it. Like even like music and stuff. Like I personally don't like uh, a lot of the newer music that has come out in recent years, and I kind of prefer, you know, the stuff I grew up with, or newer, like alternative rock, a bunch of other genres. But the newer, like popular songs, so to say, I I'm not a big fan of, and it's fine not to like those things. But I I've tried listening to those songs and stuff, and I didn't like them. And Charlie kind of talks about how people, like whenever they play a new game, watch a new movie, whatever, they go into it with the mentality of looking stuff to hate. And I mean, it's something that's become kind of sad and depressing. Because, like, growing up, you know, if you didn't like something I liked, we would, like, oh, well, like, kind of talk about it, like, well, why don't you like this? Or, this is why I don't like that, sort of thing. But now it's like, I like this, so you have to like it. If you don't, you're wrong, sort of like mentality, and it's not right in my opinion. Like having friends that have all the same interests and opinions as you isn't healthy for one. Putting yourself in that kind of echo chamber of sorts is just gonna always end up hurting you more than it helps. But like it just like with all the newer like games and stuff, especially recently, like I'm trying to think of some, cause perfect example actually, uh, Call of Duty. A bunch of people hate Call of Duty. I I'm not a big fan of them just because it out of all the newer ones I've played, it feels like the same repeat stuff, which personally I'm not the biggest fan of. But I'm not going to look for like the worst in all those, the Call of Duty games. Like I like the zombie modes in the newer ones. Like those are still, pretty interesting to me. I'm not gonna be like, "Oh, the entire game's bad. Throw it out. Do something else." And like with uh Beast of Reincarnation, um people don't like that Game Freak was doing something new. They weren't doing another Pokemon game or what have you, which from everything I've seen of the game, it looks fine. I mean, I haven't played it. It looks really good and interesting. I like that sort of genre, to be fair. But I mean, it's fine and okay and healthy to do different things, whether you're a corporation like Game Freak or just a normal person. And I think that's the thing people are really kind of stuck about, is they just want to hate anything that's kind of different from what they enjoyed before, or they just want to hate. I know I'm kind of saying the same thing over and over and over. It's just I I I'm just kind of rambling, you know. It's something that after Charlie kind of talked about it, I kind of stewed on it, and I wanted to kind of talk about it too, because to me it's a very problematic thing. Like, because it also, like, even in, like, outside of media and stuff, like, if someone in their teens or any age really goes out to the bar to have fun, and like dances, you're going to be recorded. You Anything you do in public, you're almost 100% guaranteed to get recorded. If it's something silly, goofy, or you're just having fun, people will record it to kind of like, hey, look at what this guy's doing, or he just messed up, whatever, like that sort of mentality and stuff, and all those types of things. We've gotten so glued to social media and what everyone thinks of us, and being the next big idol, superstar, what have you. And granted, you know, I'm doing a YouTube channel. Like, that's, and it's because I've kind of always wanted to. I've wanted to since I was a kid. And, like, as a kid, is because, like, the people I look up to, Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, PewDiePie at the time, I looked up to all of them because they were, it looked like they were genuinely having fun with what they did. And it was the case, part of the time, but like as I've gotten older and as they've talked out about like how they struggled with like anxiety, depression, things like that, it kind of became more surreal to me. And I've wanted to kind of do this to kind of voice not only like some things that I kind of have issues with, like the addiction, I'll say, to social media everyone has gotten. I also want to like eventually like do streams and stuff for charity and raise money for that. Like, but the thing is, like, one, unfortunately, I'm very inconsistent with uploading videos. I'm awful with it, and I'm going to try and push myself more to consistently make videos, post, even if it's just me sitting here rambling, because even if you guys at home don't watch it, or if you do and enjoy it, whether you enjoy it or not, just doing this, because I kind of want to have a community that is okay with not liking the same things, that is willing to be supporting in each other and things of that nature. It's just very difficult, especially since, I'm still very new to this environment, and like kind of like going back on what I said about like popular YouTubers kind of talking out about their health and things like that. Ever since I've started posting videos and stuff, I've tried to make sure not to really look at like the views and stuff of the videos, because I don't want to become attached to those numbers. Because at the day, like, even if y'all view it, like, seeing like the numbers, because like some of my videos obviously have gotten none, and I'm like, sucks, but I mean, it's bound to happen. I'm still very new. But like the ones that have like popped off, like the high rent reaction, like that got, I think, 100 or so views within the first day, which blew me away, even though it's insignificant compared to like other reaction channels and stuff like that. It was a very, crazy thing to me. Like, wow, so many people, at least for a second, viewed my video. And then I kind of had to take a moment and remember, don't do that. Like, yes, enjoy the moment of, like, these people, at least for a second, were interested in the stuff I was making. Even though, like I said, it's videos. I'm literally in my room talking to a camera. Not even knowing if people will see it tomorrow, a week from now, a month from now. It's a very odd thing. And I know I've kind of gone on a tangent and kind of gone away from what I was originally wanting to just focus on. But, I mean, I think I'll be doing this a lot more often. Just the things I kind of think about late at night, because it's almost midnight here where I live right now. And, I mean, you can probably tell because the light's behind me and stuff, But, I mean, I'll probably just turn the camera on every uh whenever I start thinking about these, just the things I kind of have a gripe with in the world, or things I think are really good, because Charlie kind in his video talked about how people kind of fixate over the negative, and that's very true. I mean, look at like any, even TV shows and stuff, like the news. They cover most time very depressing things or saddening things. And a lot of people, I feel like, would watch that in order to, see the negative. Even if they don't like it, I think it's a slightly addicting thing. We're drawn to it, and like, I mean, like watching Charlie, like all of the, I say silly, body cam videos. It's a very serious, situation. People faking like being police officers and stuff. It can get people, well, faking to be like police officers and things like that. It can really damage not only people around them, but their own lives. And the people that get arrested are probably going to be locked up for a few years because, impersonating a government person is legal, obviously. But yeah, I know I've kind of rambled on for a while, and also all my videos, all of them, will always be unedited, mainly because I don't know how to edit, and two, I much prefer to be upfront and just all my thoughts kind of put out at once. So if there's something I might regret in the future, I can just make a comment like, hey, I kind of thinking on this one thing, I realized that I didn't word it correctly or something like that. But if I don't, if I truly believe it, I will never go back on it. But I guess that's gonna be it for now. You all have a good night. See ya.